if you listen to 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I went back and I've started watching the early episodes of 83 Weeks. And on one of them, Conrad Thompson says that Dave Meltzer reported that Mabel, Viscera, Big Daddy V, he was still Mabel at the time, but Mabel was considered to be the third man in the NWO at Bash at the Beach, 1996. Mabel would have walked out and joined Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, taking on Luger, Sting, and Savage. Mabel would have come out and dropped the leg on Macho Man Randy Savage, because you know the huge history that Macho Man Randy Savage and Mabel had in WWE. Let's go back. Let's see what would have been WrestleMania 1. Mabel and Mr. T versus who'd they wrestle? Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff. Mabel and Mr. T. King Kong Bundy and Mabel inside a steel cage. Mabel body slams Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3. Mabel and Macho Man Randy Savage would have been the Mega Powers. Can you imagine the Mega Powers explode? Mabel and Randy Savage. It was Mabel on that Saturday night's main event that had lust in his eyes for Miss Elizabeth. Imagine the couple, Miss Elizabeth and Mabel. Actually, Mabel and Lillian Garcia. That brings fond memories. But Mabel and Miss Elizabeth in 1989 or 90 or whenever that storyline was, 88, 89, 90, that Saturday night's main event. It was the Mega Powers. Macho Man Randy Savage and Mabel against the Twin Towers, the Big Boss Man and Akeem. And then we move on. The undeniable force meeting the immovable object. Sorry, the irresistible force is also undeniable. Come on, he's Mabel. WrestleMania 6, Toronto Sky Dome. It finally all happens. The biggest matchup in WWE history at the time. Mabel loses the WWF Championship to the Ultimate Warrior. Imagine. And then it's Mabel defending the United States of America against Sergeant Slaughter at WrestleMania 7. Imagine those promos. Say your prayers. Eat your vitamins. By Mabel. WrestleMania 9. Yeah, skip date. Doesn't matter. WrestleMania 9. Mabel runs out after Bret Hart loses. Asks Bret Hart, is it okay, brother, if I go on to fight Yokozuna right here, right now for the championship? And it's Mabel that beats Yokozuna for the WWF Championship in Las Vegas at WrestleMania 9. Oh, baby. And then, wait. It's Mabel starring in No Holds Barred against Zeus. It's Mabel as Mr. Nanny. It's Mabel in Suburban Commando. Mabel stars in Thunder in Paradise. Did Hulk Hogan ever do a episode of Bash of Baywatch? I don't know, but let's just say that he did. Mabel stars in Baywatch. And then the biggest contract signing in WCW history. We have Mabel jumping to, I'm gonna go back. It's Mabel testifying against Vince McMahon in the steroid case of 1994 because, Mabel was jacked. And then it's the biggest signing in WCW history. We have Mabel jumping ship in 1994 to WCW, going on to take on Ric Flair at Bash at the Beach, I think, 1994. And then the crowd's starting to turn a little bit on Mabel. And Mabel shocks the world as he's the third man in the NWO against... Man, I need posters of Mabel in all those movies I just mentioned. It's Mabel going on, shocking the world with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash joining the NWO. Let's just think of those memories. It would have been Mabel feuding with Roddy Piper in those early events. We all remember the crazy feud that Mabel could have had with Sting leading up to Starrcade 1997. It would have been Mabel that beat the Giant at Road Wild 1996 to win the WCW Heavyweight Championship. It would have been Mabel spray penning NWO over the title. It would have been Mabel in July 1998. The Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Probably at the time, the biggest Nitro of all time. Goldberg versus Mabel for the title. Oh, baby. It would have been Mabel in January 99 that came out and announced he was running for president. I think it was January 99. Could you imagine? President Mabel. Oh, baby. It would have been Mabel pushing Kevin Nash, using the finger poke of doom and shocking the world once again, as only Mabel can do. It would have been Mabel in Bash at the Beach 2000, because of everything that Mabel's done in the wrestling business. Vince Russo does not like Mabel. Screws Mabel out of the WCW title. Wow. And then in 2002, February 2002, No Way Out. That couldn't have worked out perfectly. More perfectly than it did, because the letters were NWO for No Way Out. The NWO returns to WWE. Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Mabel, and leading to one of the most electrifying matches, brother, of all time. Mabel versus The Rock. The jabroni-beaten, pie-eating, trail-blazing, eyebrow-raising people's champion. The Rock. At WrestleMania 18 in Toronto Skydome, the crowd was electric for Mabel versus The Rock. And then the next night in Montreal, where the crowd gave Mabel that crazy standing ovation. 20 minutes on their feet for the man, Mabel. I mean, Mabel was King of the Ring in 95, so all of this makes perfect sense. What else? Mabel versus Randy Orton in 2000, whatever year that was. Mabel versus Shawn Michaels in 2005. Mabel and Edge teaming up in whatever year that was. Man, Mabel's done so much. I can't keep all the years straight. And then in 2005-ish, Mabel goes in to the WWE Hall of Fame. 2005, 2006, 2004? When did Hogan go into the Hall of Fame? Tell me. Mabel, WWE Hall of Famer. It would have been Mabel that sued Gawker and got that crazy lawsuit. Mabel and Bubba the Love Sponge would have been best friends. It would have been Mabel that reformed the NWO but had a different name in TNA. Man, it would have been, imagine, the dream match everyone wanted to see. Mabel versus Ric Flair at WrestleMania 8. I know I said I skipped it. Didn't happen. The world was crushed. So many amazing memories. Man, imagine if it was Mabel. I did that rant for 8 minutes and 50 seconds. Why on earth would Dave Meltzer ever think that Mabel would be the guy? There's a lot of people that could have been the guy. But Mabel? Man, Meltzer. That's one thing that you should have thought about before you probably printed. I don't know. If I was like the dirt sheet guy and I'm like, you know, it could be Hogan, could be Sting, or it could be Mabel. It's definitely Mabel. Yeah, so that was on 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff, Conrad Thompson. Amazing podcasts. Amazing. I actually listen to them on YouTube when I do other stuff. I was actually listening to 83 Weeks right there before I started making this video. And I also love Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson. Conrad Thompson is an amazing host. If you haven't checked them out, don't know what I'm talking about, if you're a wrestling fan on the internet, you definitely know what I'm talking about. Especially if you're watching my channel. You know who they are, what those shows are. Check them out. They're fantastic. But yeah, I just thought that was absolutely hilarious that Mabel could have been the third guy in the NWO for life. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon.